Endwalker delay. So yeah, Endwalker got delayed. It's not really a surprise. I mean, the thing is that like whenever we were, I guess I can probably say this because now the embargo's over. But like whenever we were doing the like, so we do the media tour, right? They say like 5 or 6 times that like COVID has made it really hard for them to do their work, right? Because COVID is bad in Japan apparently. So it's not really a surprise that they had to delay it if they emphasized it that much. And really, it's not a big delay. Yoshi-P cried on stream.
This is, gosh, the first time, and not just with 14, but just throughout my entire career that we had announced a release date and had to delay it. So again, I feel really bad about this.
It makes you feel really bad whenever you plan to do something and like everybody's really looking forward to something and you have to go on in front of like, you know, hundreds of thousands of fans and then disappoint them. Especially whenever, for him, right, it's like he doesn't just like make the game, he plays the game all the time. This game's like his life. So like he's gonna probably take this really personally, and I can understand that. It fucking sucks, man. And it's just like you have things that are in your control, right? You have like, okay, your deadlines and timing, etc. And then you have things that are outside of your control, like, you know, things that are happening in the company that are outside of his, you know, his jurisdiction, basically. And then you have like COVID, and you have, you know, just other things that happen that are existential, right? And it's never always one person's fault. And it just sucks that it happened. But yeah, it's not that big of a delay. It's a couple weeks. Mage Tower, yeah, so basically Blizzard, people think Blizzard planned a release for the Mage Tower to like compete with Final Fantasy Endwalker. I don't really think that's what it was. Like, I think that's probably just like kind of the timing of things. Because the truth is that, like, no, I don't think that's what it was. I think that, honestly, they just decided to bring it out at that time. It's Christmas season. Obviously, they're just trying to get people to play the game again. Now, obviously, the Mage Tower and everything about it is really cool. Like, I'm going to do it, and, you know, it'll be fun. But the truth is that, like, if you were going to play Endwalker, like, how many people do you think were like, oh, man, I was going to play Endwalker, but I just heard that Blizzard is re-releasing 5-year-old content again? Oh my god, never mind, plans canceled. No, nobody's doing that. I think that the entire idea of it is ridiculous, but yeah, I think everybody that was going to play Endwalker was already going to play it regardless. Obviously, delays suck, and having to delay a game is bad. And it's also understandable. I think that most people, most game consumers have pretty much the same opinion that I do, which is I don't like game delays, but the only thing that I like less than game delays is bad games. Like, that's the one thing that I really, really don't like, is I don't want to have a bad game. And the truth is that, like, there's so many eyes on Final Fantasy XIV right now. There are so many people that are going to compare this release to the release of a Warcraft expansion. They're going to compare this release to everything else. So I think it's so important for them to get Endwalker right, because the stakes are so high. People's expectations are so high. Everybody wants to see the game in like the perfect state possible. And because of that, is 2 weeks really going to help? Yeah, I think so. I think you can do a lot in 2 weeks. Like, I could clean up probably my whole house in 2 weeks. They can clean up a few quests, and the odds are, like, they're not going to be changing. It's not like they're like, oh man, 2 weeks. Like, didn't they make Molten Core in like a week, which is like only 2 days? One guy did. Honestly, I'm surprised it took that long. But like, I mean, really, what I'm saying is, like, you can do a lot in that period of time if you have people that know how to do their job. The truth is that, like, everybody's expectations for Endwalker are so high. There's never been more pressure on Final Fantasy as a Final Fantasy XIV, because everybody is going to compare this release of Final Fantasy XIV to the WoW release. So, like, if this release is not poggers, people are going to be like, oh, well, see, I told you guys it was just hype. Final Fantasy isn't really that good, you know, and this is going to be the perspective that a lot of people are going to have. So it's very, very important for them to have this release go off without a hitch and to have it be as perfect as possible. And it's the same thing really with Elden Ring, because I know Elden Ring got delayed until February at some point, and it's the same issue, right? Is that the expectations for a FromSoft game are so high that they cannot afford to bring out anything. It's like you have to beat your last success, you know? But either way, the expectations for this release are just so high. The expectations for Endwalker are so high. The expectations for Elden Ring are so high. And because they're so high, these developers have to make sure that the game is as perfect as possible. And in doing that, they do sometimes have to delay the game. Because here's what happens, is like you can have a game like Cyberpunk, for example. Cyberpunk releases with a lot of bugs. Now, I'm going to assume that Cyberpunk fixed most of those bugs. No, I'm not saying that it's perfect, okay? I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that it's a lot better than what it originally was. And because it's a lot better than what it originally was, and yes, it is still buggy, it is whatever, right? Yeah, whatever. Is that people will always look at it for what it was on day one. And that's exactly what happened with BFA. I talked to somebody at Blizzard. Blizzard said that they fixed more bugs at the beginning of BFA, and they did more fixes at the beginning there than they had for any other expansion. But people still call it beta for Azeroth. Why is that? It's because first impressions are the most important thing. And if you miss that first impression, that's what people fucking remember. So you cannot let that happen. And No Man's Sky, though, yeah, exactly. But people, like, a lot of people, if you talk to them about No Man's Sky, even now, they're going to probably say it's buggy, and they're going to say that the same problems that they fixed are still in the game that were in the game on release, because that's what they remember it as. New World is going to have the same fucking problem. And I swear, this is what's going to happen. New World is going to have the same fucking problem a year from now, whenever New World finally fixes the gold duping and invincibility glitches for permanently. They're probably still going to be talking about them. This is probably still going to happen. And so this is what it's going to be. Fallout 76, yeah. There are a million examples of this. And the point that I'm making here is that whenever you have a release that goes bad, right? Let's just say this. A badly received release, this is something that haunts a game for its entire lifespan. And they just can't have that happen. So it's not a surprise that they delayed the game. I think that obviously for some people, especially whenever you have people that take time off to do to play the game, it sucks, right? Whenever you have, you have your job and you plan to take a week off to play the game or whatever, and now it's getting delayed. That sucks, man. And that same thing happened with New World. The same thing happened, I think, with Shadowlands too. But the truth is that I don't think that those people should direct the direction of the game, right? Ultimately, it's the developer's fault for not releasing it whenever they said they would. But I think that if they have to push it back, they have to push it back. Imagine Ian crying. The thing is with the WoW team, right? And like this is it's just like I could see J. Allen Bratt crying. I mean, definitely I could see him crying. I mean, he'd have to wear like 5 pins before he did it, but you know, he would cry on stream, definitely. And he cried he'd cry in court. Yeah. Man, like 9.1.5, like we played it a bit, and I've been playing a little bit of WoW. It's just they've got to really rethink the game from the ground up, and I feel like they like 9.2 is really what's going to tell me whether they've kind of changed their mindset of the game or not. I love WoW. I'll always love WoW, and I'll still play it and everything like that because I've got a lot of memories attached to it, and I just care about the game, etc. But it could just be so much better, man. I think that's the truth. It could just be so much fucking better. And that's what the sad thing is about it. And like you have like, you know, like the censorship and all that stuff. Like, I mean, who cares? Like, that's stupid. Yeah, it's stupid, and like I guarantee you guys, we are going to see these developers' personal political mindsets and visions being reflected in the game. I guarantee you we're going to have points in the story that are going to caricaturize something that they politically like or dislike. And I can guarantee you this is going to happen. Clip it and ship it. You know, virtue signaling, etc. This is going to be very, very popular now in WoW. And yes, I really, really don't like that. However, this does not really make me stop playing the game a whole lot. Like, if the game sucks, that's why I'm going to stop playing it. And the gameplay and everything like that is what really matters. And I was doing Sylvanas on Heroic. Oh my god. Is it possible to have negative fun? I think Final Fantasy raiding has been more enjoyable for me in some ways, and in other ways I like raiding in WoW. Like, I like the... in WoW, one thing I like about raiding in WoW is the fact that you can change and, like, do things differently, right? It's like you... The amount of ways that you can play your character are so much bigger in World of Warcraft than Final Fantasy, I believe, because you just have so many different ways that you can do different things in the game, right? Like, you can like gear differently, you can use different trinkets, you can just like do all kinds of crazy shit in the game. Now, this is not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing or whatever. This is just the way that the game works. Rich proved himself doing T. Yeah, I saw Rich cleared it. That's good for him. I'm happy for him. I want to do it eventually. Like, I'm not going to do it until after Endwalker, but I will do all T and all the other raids and everything. I think it'll be fun. Yeah, I'll come back for Quad Legend. I would love to actually try to get like the world first ultimate, you know? Like, what would it be like to try to go and... Is it King Thordan, right? For the new ultimate? Like, I would try to do it, man. But I'd have to have, like, a group of just fucking absolute legend. I have to have, like, me and 7 Doms, you know? And we'd be fine. I've thought a lot about Final Fantasy while I've been playing New World. And I look forward to going back and playing it more. I've held myself back from playing it a whole lot because I've been off stream. And I do plan on, whenever I come back, I want to go through and do the entire MSQ. I'm going to do all of it. And hopefully by then I'll have like all the Beast Tribe mounts and everything like that. And I really do want to play the game all the way through. It's like, I don't really know. I don't have a timeline for when I'll be back. But like, there's a lot of shit that I just have to do. As I said, like, so many loose ends. So point is that I want to, whenever I get back, right, I want to get into doing the MSQ. I figure, like, I'm just going to get and put on a blanket and get some hot cocoa and just cozy up. And we're going to play through the MSQ, have a good time, enjoy it, play Elden Ring. Maybe, hopefully, by then, New World will be good. Play some of the new content there. We got probably 9.2 will come out. We got that. I've got all the Endwalker content. I want to do Savage and Endwalker, get my character geared up. Maybe do like the Deep Dungeon by the time that gets released in Endwalker. Then like, let's see what else. Oh, Lost Ark. Like, oh my god, man, I've got so much to do. Like, I'm excited. I really am. Like, this is the new golden age of MMOs, man. I saw Max tweeted that out the other day. He's right. Like, he's so right. Like, I've been playing the games all the time.